first rule of Fight Club? Don't talk about Fight Club. But I'll tell you about it anyways. Hi, my name is Alea Bennett, and today I will be presenting about Fight Club. Yes, Fight Club. Today, we will be discussing Tyler Durden being an alter ego and how we all have a Tyler inside of us. Fight Club, a satire. To understand how Fight Club is a satire, you must first understand what a satire is. So, what is a satire? A satire is an attack by means of a manifest fiction upon discernible historical particulars. It can be created by using extreme exaggeration, irony, or humor, essentially to make fun, ridicule, or expose those intended. With the many themes used in Fight Club, they seem to make every single one of them into a satire. They have used irony in the very beginning with Big Breast Bob. That wasn't his name, but you understand. He went from being an extreme bodybuilder, a very masculine man, to having no testicles, nothing. He's also described to have bitch tits, as the narrator describes him, on page 17, 21, and 22. Obsessed. Ironic, isn't it? In the book, the secrecy about Fight Club was an extreme exaggeration and was a direct jab at cult culture, cultivating. Have you ever blacked out and had no recollection of what you did? Even if you were angry, drunk, or experiencing extreme insomnia, then you may be entitled to naming your very own alter ego. Not having these symptoms may still result in an alter ego being present within you. Name is not provided by us. We are not liable for any consequences that may transpire due to an alter ego showing up. Consequences may lead to calling an ex, going to jail, maybe even dying, but it's okay. We all have a Tyler inside of us. Yes, even you. Hear the screams. I know. Before you get scared about possibly having a Tyler inside of you, let's start with the facts. The narrator had a lot of psychological issues due to stress he was experiencing at work. Considering his job is to calculate if it is cheaper to do a recall or pay off the families of those who can potentially die, you can imagine why he may be a little off. Although we may not experience the same problems as the narrator, doesn't mean we don't have a Tyler inside of us. We all have an alter ego. Whether we let it out is on us. But trust, it does exist. Am I calling Tyler the narrator's alter ego? Yes. An alter ego doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, as Tyler brought out both the good and the bad in the narrator. Tyler made the narrator feel confident and do things he normally wouldn't have done, a lot of which an alter ego is essentially made to do. For example, Sasha Fierce versus Tyler. I know you're probably confused as to why I'm using Beyonce. Trust, my group members were too. But it backs up with Tyler and Sasha Fierce being alike. See, Sasha, this is Sasha. You probably think this is Beyonce, but no. Sasha Fierce is Beyonce's alter ego that comes out on stage. See? Exhibit A. This is Tyler, portrayed by Angelina Jolie's ex, also known as Brad Pitt. He played Tyler in the movie. So we're going to use him for, visual representation. You're probably wondering, like I said, how Beyonce's alter ego, Sasha Fierce, is like Tyler. So I'll explain. Well, for starters, they are both people that they have made up. They take over on their own, sometimes without Beyonce or the narrator's permission. They consider them to be separate people, despite them sharing a body. As the narrator directly said in the book, he understands that he and Tyler shared the same body, but when Tyler was doing his thing, he was asleep. Beyonce has said that Sasha Fierce takes over on stage, making her capable of hitting notes she never could and dance like never before. Here's proof.
Like when you're getting ready to go on stage and perform, does Sasha Fierce, when does she show up?
Usually when I hear the crowd, when I put on my stilettos, when like the moment right before when you're nervous and that other thing kind of takes over for you. Then Sasha Fierce appears in my posture and the way I speak and everything is different.
But no, is it like a process that happens too? Like you were talking about the high heels, like once the lashes go on and makeup and all that stuff.
It's kind of like when I do a movie, becoming the character. Once you put on the wig and once you put on the clothes, you walk different.
Yeah.
It's kind of this character that I've created over the years.
And how is Sasha Fierce different than I am?
Well, I know, definitely wearing that bodysuit, I could never walk out here.
Yeah. Does Sasha Fierce ever go home? Like,
Sometimes, but not often, only on special
never
occasions.
shows up sometimes at the house. Yeah.
But definitely when I'm nervous or whenever I have to perform, whenever I have to do choreography or something that's difficult, and it's no different from anyone else. I feel like we all kind of have that thing that takes over me. So,
Thanks, Oprah. As stated, Sasha Fierce is a person whom Beyonce has created to come out in different situations, especially in those in which she is nervous or about to do something she wouldn't normally do. In other interviews, she has described her alter ego as this sexy, seductive, outgoing person, in contrast to how she describes herself as a calm, quiet, and goofy person. Here we have Tyler, who is just like Beyonce. The narrator describes all these aspects of his alter ego that he believes he does not embody. Directly in the book, he says, "I love everything about Tyler Durden. His courage and his smarts, his nerve, and so much more. Tyler is funny, capable, and free, and I am not." Page 174. Lady Gaga has her own alter ego as well. Her alter ego's name is Joe, I believe. Yeah. Nicki Minaj, she has several. Hello Kitty, Barbie, and even I myself have one. Mine likes to come out when my group doesn't include me in our project. So, do you have a Tyler inside of you? While your alter ego may not tell you to build bombs and cause havoc, there's always something inside you that makes you want to act or do something differently than you normally would. Every time you randomly want to send a risky text, climb on a table at your mom's wedding and dance on the table, or even yell at your project group members, just know that is your alter ego creeping in, and it is okay to embrace. Random quote that ties into my conclusion to my last slide. Whenever two people meet, there are really 6 people present. There is each man as he sees himself, each man as the other person sees him, and each man as he really is. William James. I don't know who that is, but thanks, William. Conclusion time. In conclusion, the author used satire throughout this entire book. He touched on many issues such as toxic masculinity, mortality, and even love. Although he shined light on his view on these topics, the main theme of this book was about identity. We are all trying to be something we are not, when everything we want is already inside of us. Yes, even you. Discussion time. Do you have a name for your alter ego? My personal one is Rose. What was your favorite use of irony in the book? My personal one was Tyler. He was described as like this really masculine man, but then again, he had aspects that wouldn't be typically masculine, so I like that. And in what ways did the author speak about toxic masculinity that will still be a conversation today? Considering that this book was made many years ago, a lot of the themes and direct quotes still are in effect today. Specifically one being with Bob and his bitch tits. Him having big titties made him less of a man, and the fact that he also did not have his testicles, they basically took away his manhood. When in reality, in today, you don't even have to have testicles to be considered a man or to be masculine. really masculinity is something we create and is a mindset, and we all have that inside of us. I want to say a quick little thank you to myself. With only 8 hours, I was able to pull an assignment together out of nothing after my ideas were stolen by my group members, and my professor decided I should write a 5-page paper without a rubric as a consequence and let them continue to present. This one's for you guys. As we read in class in How to Be Black, we did have a quick discussion about how Black women are the most disrespected people in the world. We have to work 10 times harder than anyone to get the same desired effect, yet we've seen it again. I hope this was a great time. This is once again Fight Club Part 2, done by myself. Thanks.